Yeah, thanks.
Well, the engine's boned. Looks like we're gonna have to sit tight here until AAA shows up.
That's fine. How long's it gonna take?
About 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Just long enough for a ghost story!
I don't know. Your stories tend to get kind of weird.
It was a night just like tonight. And there was a garbage man. No, a sanitation worker. A postman! Yeah, a postman. And he was a great postman, and nothing ever got in the way of him delivering the mail. It could be a letter or a package or a postcard, and nothing ever stopped him. But then one day, he died! Well, he died while he was on his route. Yeah, but he was so dedicated to his job that his spirit couldn't pass over to the other side.
The other side of what?
Let me tell the story! The other side of... you know. So his spirit rose up from his earthly grave, and he started searching the earthly streets every night for the woman whose mail it was.
Why didn't someone else just deliver the letter?
Because it had to be delivered by hand. Because it was a subpoena. And he was a ghost.
But if he was a ghost, then how could he hold the letter?
The ghost walked around from house to house, searching for the woman whose summons he had in his hand, because it was the only way his spirit could pass over to the other side. But he couldn't find her at first.
Why didn't he just look at the name and address on the letter?
Well, because he's a ghost, and ghosts can't read because ghosts are incorporeal.
But then how could he hold the bag?
I swear to God, if you ask one more question, I will shoot the AAA man and make you hold the gun to frame you for it and testify against you so you go to prison, and I will never visit! Anyway, he wandered from house to house trying to find her, but he couldn't. So days became weeks, weeks became years as he walked the same postal route. And every time he came to somebody's house, he would try and get someone's attention once they answered the door. But he was a ghost, so his voice was really quiet. And he had to scream and wail to get anybody's attention. He terrified the villagers, who didn't see anything when they answered the door, and they only heard a faint scream. And then the day came when he visited the house of Geraldine Williams. She answered the door, and she was so frightened that she fell to the ground, dead. But this gave the postman the only satisfaction he had ever had since becoming a ghost. So he made his wails more and more terrifying and eventually left a pile of death in his wake. Eventually, people stopped answering their doors altogether for fear of being scared to death. So the postman wandered around the empty streets alone forever. Nobody answered the door, so he never could find the woman whose subpoena he had to deliver. The postman was damned and spent the rest of eternity as a broken, twisted monster. I know. If only she had just shown up for her court appearance in the first place, right? But no, because she was so busy and important that she couldn't spend a half hour to show up for the custody suit, and the judge just figured it'd be okay to postpone the hearing, and then scheduled it for the day that...
I specifically said I couldn't make it, but then guess what? Oh no, I asked for a postponement. Did I get that? No. And that's why the postman killed so many people and is caught forever in this horrible form and can never find peace, and is caught in this Sisyphean prison! Because your mother's a really shitty person.
That is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, that took a dark turn.
So, that whole ghost story was actually a psychotic meta-narrative about your parents' divorce?
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
It was entertaining, at least.
I'd love to see your dad play charades.